killed by the LAPD on that day, and it was one of those days. He was experiencing. It was a difficult day.
We're pretty enraged, and we're grieving, and also that this is not the first time. This happens over and over and over again, not only in Los Angeles, but the country. So yeah, we're showing up here today.
I'm not ready. Sir, you're not even a cop. I'm not ready. What is it? Go away, please.
This is Sergeant Robocop. Can I talk to you for a brief minute?
No, every time I even crack the door in this new place I found myself, they just start barging in. Yes, I've already been killed multiple times. I don't want to be killed even one more time.
Okay, Young. So your parents called us. Do you understand that?
All units, Capital 1, 8
So they're worried about you. Just want you to go get checked out.
No, that my parents are not worried. So if you do not leave, I will continue just saying the same old thing. Goodbye.
You don't have options.
Goodbye.
Alright, we're gonna have a use of force.
Right, so we're gonna have to use of force. Okay, we're gonna we have some family members and members from the community that's gonna share some words.
To be served was Yong Yang. He wasn't a criminal. He wasn't menacing anybody. He was not threatening anybody. He was inside the living room of his parents' home. He was the one who needed help. But what happened? He got killed by the police. The very police that the family and the medical authorities had summoned to protect their son. So one of the things that Mr. Yang, the uncle, mentioned is body cam footage. A lot of you may have already seen it. You heard the audio part of it. Yong Yang was not threatening anyone. No neighbors were complaining. Nobody was in danger. The only thing that the parents wanted, they called the medical authorities to try to help her son overcome this temporary mental situation by taking him to the hospital, and they called the police. And
we're going to have more rallies and protests in the future, so if you guys could spread the word as much as you can. We're just trying to let everybody know what happened, and just continue to build upon this and grow our crowd to be huge so that we will be heard.
And if any of you in this crowd has any trust in the LAPD and in police in general, I would ask for you to re-examine that. Because we're standing here today in the spirit of Yong, in the spirit of Melly, in the spirit of all these people who've been killed by police. And to say that you would have any trust in the people that caused their deaths, I think is disrespectful. But I also think that we need to evaluate what police actually do in our communities, because no community is safe from the police. They don't care if you're, my sister and we're Hispanic, we're Mexican and Salvadorian. They don't care about that. They look at us differently because of that. But they don't care if you're Korean or whatever. They just will kill you if they deem you as a threat, if they think that you are looking at them sideways. And so we need to admit to ourselves, and in my opinion, I don't see cops as heroes or public servants or whatever. To me, they're hitmen. They are paid $100,000, sometimes more, to kill people. If you are not compliant, if you are having a mental health crisis, when you are going to be your least compliant, you're going through something. You're manic, you're depressed, you're angry, whatever that is. It happens to all of us to some degree, and some of us suffer from it more. But does that mean that it's okay to kill someone who's going through that, who maybe isn't listening? Why have we made it normal for people who are heavily armed, who are taught that they can kill with impunity? Why do we let them go and handle these situations? These are incredibly tense situations. People can act many different ways, but the police only exist to escalate these things. There is a version of this where we are not here, where Yong is at home with his family, living his life. There is a version of my life that my sister does not get gunned down at 27 years old inside of a Trader Joe's because she just happened to be working that day, and the police chose to open fire into the store. They fired 8 rounds, and one of them hit my sister and it killed her. And all that my family has ever heard is, oh, well, we're sorry, but we did what we had to do. And I was listening to that recording that someone played earlier, and it's, they said, you have no choice, we have no choices. They basically are saying, we have to kill you because we know you exist now. We know that you're in a manic state. So the only thing that we can do is kill you. And how is that okay? As people, how do we sit here and not yell at the top of our lungs that this is wrong and this shouldn't be happening? People are gunned down by the police every single day, and nothing happens. The people who killed Yong, unfortunately, in my opinion, in my experience, are probably not going to suffer any consequences. The police who killed my sister, I think they took 2 weeks off, and then we're back on the force. They had to do paperwork, they had to get overtime, but nothing happened to them. And all that was done was, the police said, we're sorry, whatever, you got to move on. But this will hurt me for the rest of my life, just as Yong's family will forever be changed because he's not here. His twin brother was just up here, and I can imagine what he must feel like, because I lost my sister, and she was everything to me. She was my best friend, and to not have her here, and to know that the people who are responsible are still out there, probably killing other people, probably harassing and beating people, it makes me very angry. And so I feel the anger from the family. I feel the anger from the community, because this should not happen. We need to reevaluate our relationship to the police. We need to hold elected officials like Karen Bass accountable for giving these people over $3 billion a year. Yong is dead because of that police budget. And trust me, it goes deeper than that. But we need to look at our elected officials. We need to also look at people in our community who let the cops slide, who let them pass, who say that, oh, this is tragic, but we have to trust the police. Those days have to be over. We saw what happened in 2020. We've seen what has continually happened. Since my sister was killed in 2018, I've met hundreds of families who've been affected by this, by police violence. Some of them were killed before Melly, and a lot of them were killed after. So even after my sister was killed, and it was a very public, big thing, and the LAPD had to go and do a press conference and say that it was their bullet that killed her, they still killed more people in very similar ways. People having mental health crises, people, a 14-year-old girl in the Valley who was trying on dresses with her mom. And we just, we're supposed to just allow that to happen. So I'm here today because I support this family. They are now part of my extended family because they know what it's like to lose someone they love to police violence. So I will show up to whatever rallies, whatever marches you have, because I support you and I know what this feeling is like. And to the community who's maybe grappling with some tough things right now, if you feel a little bit of hesitation, I'd like you to get over it and really examine what LAPD actually does to our communities, for our communities. And I'm going to tell you that it's not going to be an easy thing to admit to yourself that they kill people all the time. They don't care about the communities that they serve. They exist to protect themselves and serve their own interests. That is what the protect and serve means. To quote my friend who spoke earlier, they only exist to kill people, to hold their own power over people, and the elected officials in this city and all over the country give them more and more money each year. So what they are saying is, it is okay that people like my sister Melly and Yong and Anthony Vargas are dead. And we need to tell them that it is not okay, that we are done with this and we're fucking tired. Thank you so much.
그렇기 때문에 경찰을 부를 필요도 없고 부르지들 않았을 겁니다.